About the Birds provides you with weekly analysis, game recaps, informative interviews, and it's all birds all the time.
What's going on, everybody? It is NFL Draft Week.
Woo!
Huge, major, because you have a bunch of new prospects entering your team's fold, and a lot of hope and excitement because you get to learn a new crop of players. So what we're going to do today, depending on when you're watching it, is there's been a number of mock drafts that have been released. So we're kind of go off of some of the guys and kind of see what they've had. Of course, we have Dane Brugler did his 7-round mock. We have Chad Reuter. He did a mock his own. He did. We have Mel Kiper did a couple rounds. So we've got a number of different guys and their mock drafts. So definitely want to get into that. And, we'll, maybe talk about some needs. I got a lot to get to this week. Wednesday, our show, we're going to talk, before the draft here, something big there. And, of course, we're going to talk on Sunday after the draft because you're going to have all the Eagles picks, plus you're going to have a bunch of undrafted free agent signings and everything. So we got a lot. It's going to be an action-packed week, essentially, for us. But Matt, how are we doing? It's been a long time since we talked, a little over a week, I would say.
Yeah. This is what we've been waiting for, man. It feels like this draft took forever to get here. I feel like it's been a full year since the Super Bowl, but it's only been 2 months.
I think a lot of it has to do with all of the hoopla that you have to listen to time and time again. You just want something to distract you, and again, that's what the draft is. And then in like 2 weeks after the draft, then you have the schedule release. So then you have that. So there's a lot that goes into it, and all the mini camps and all the OTAs, and then it starts to ramp up a little bit before the dead period, right before training camp. But we're getting into that busy time.
I love this time of year. Although I will say, I think this is one of the first years where I don't have an idea of where they're going. I
couldn't tell you.
I at least felt like I knew where they were going last year. Obviously, we did not see Jahad Campbell coming, but I at least going into that draft, I felt confident that they were going to go a certain way. I don't feel confident that they're going to go a certain way this year.
I think the biggest thing is, I think the biggest thing is though, like we don't know how the board's going to fall. Like there's so much of we don't know. Now, the Giants just made a huge trade, trading away their all-pro nose tackle Dexter Lawrence to Cincinnati for the number 10 pick. So now they have 2 picks in the top 10. The Dallas Cowboys have 2 picks, 12 and 20. So there's a lot when you look at the division and what the teams are going to do with that. And again, it depends on how the board falls. It's going to be a lot into it, and who's going to be the team that makes that reach and be like, oh, wow, that guy went a lot higher than we thought, and just pushes some prospects more in the Eagles' wheelhouse, and then we'll see. Because when you take a look at the mocks, like you have a lot of there isn't a lot of inconsistency in terms of they're not all the same players. A couple of them, you and I going back and forth, and we didn't like some of them, especially like the first couple picks. Okay, but just how it rounded out just didn't feel like
Eagles mocks in particular.
Eagles mocks only. Yeah. So we were
talking. Sorry, we were talking before we jumped on. And we brought this up a couple weeks ago. There's such a weird, if you go offensive lineman, for example, specifically offensive tackle in the first round, I don't love the rest of the draft if I go that route. I think I like the position players up top better than I do offensive tackles up top, right? I feel like the drop off between the first round tackles and someone you can get in the 5th round isn't super drastic. this year. And maybe I'm just being insane, but like, I mean, outside of like Francis Mauga or someone like that, or Spencer Fano,
Yeah.
Vega, Ione, like those guys are obviously top tier guys, but like where the Eagles are sitting, I feel like getting a Blake Miller as opposed to like a Travis Burke isn't like the end of the world. You know what I mean? We can get into that.
No, it's not the end of the world in regards to that
this year.
But I just think the way that it lines up, and it's just, I could see I just don't think the Eagles are going to stay put at 23. I think when they make their pick, it's going to be either before 23 or after 23. And I think too is when you look at this draft and you take a look at next year, now, of course, you have a lot that's in play here in terms of some prospects or some players who could be dealt for 27 picks. Don't want to get into that. We've talked about many a times the player and players. McKee is also one of them to think about. But I could see something of the sorts of how Howie, in the third, fourth, fifth round, where he trades down a handful of spots and picks up a fourth next year, a fifth next year, a couple fifths, a sixth next year to kind of, because they only have 6 picks next year. Yeah. 5 picks, and then they're going to get a 6 with a third round compensatory pick for Jalen Phillips. Yeah. So right now, I believe all they have next year is a 1, 2, and then they'll have 2 threes, 4, 5, or 4, 6, and 7, or something along the lines of that. But when I look at this draft, it's just really all depends on how everything falls. And like, I wouldn't be surprised if, say, come to second round, there's a handful of guys that they essentially could trade down to the end of the second round, pick up a pick, whether it's next year or whatever, and still get the player that, is on their board. Because like you said, no matter what you do, it's weird. Anytime you pick a certain player and then you go to the next round, you're like, oh man, like, where am I going here? Like, you get a couple of players where it's like, you really don't need that this early. Right. So you have to like go down, like you don't want to go too far down. That's where I feel a lot's going to take shape, but like I would not be surprised if they trade up 3-4 spots to get a player that, we thought was going to go a lot higher who falls,
Yeah. No, I agree. And I will say, on top of Howie not staying at 23 either way, I don't think we finish with just 8 picks this year, and I don't think we finish with 6 picks next year.
I don't think so either.
I think we'll have more than 8 picks, and probably 8 picks going into next year, if I had to guess. That's my bold Howie move. But you know him. He'll piss us off. We'll finally be on the clock, and then he'll trade back, and then we'll get on the clock again, and they'll trade back again. You know what I mean? Like, he drives me nuts with that stuff. He knows what he's doing, but as a fan, especially when you're waiting that long for the pick to go down, and then he just trades it away. It's infuriating.
I also think that, we're going to see a lot of trades on Thursday night, just because the way that people have talked about this draft and the movement aspect of there isn't a whole lot of top tier players, and the maneuverability of some teams wanting to get back. And you're going to see a lot of, picks dealt. And again, it could be in day 2 and 3 as well, of course. But day 1, I think there's going to be at least a couple of trades, especially with teams moved. There could be, but I don't believe it's going to be as big time as what you saw Dexter Lawrence for number 10. That was that's a little eye-opening and surprising. And I think too, like, when you have a team, and I'll throw it out here because it's in, it's relative to the Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. They've got 2 picks, and you could see them trade up into the top 10 and to try and get a player of a sort that they would want. You got a number of teams, a team like the Kansas City Chiefs who have 2 picks. Like, there's a lot of teams who have 2 selections that easily could move up and maneuver and do whatever they need to do. So it's going to be interesting. And again, that's why I said I don't like Eagles could trade up, but Eagles could also trade back. See if they want to trade back 5-6 spots and get themselves, another quality pick, whether it's this year or maybe something along the lines of next year. You look at some teams last year who, moved back and wind up getting a first round pick. Like there's so many different things I think that they could do, and it'll be interesting to see how he does it and how the board falls. And the way I want to bring it up here is I want to go over a couple of these mocks and kind of get your thoughts on the players and who they selected for the Eagles. So the first one that I want to do is Mel Kiper.
Oh boy.
So what?
Said, oh boy.
Well, the reason that I wanted to select Mel Kiper first was because of the picture we have on the screen there of Blake Miller. And he projected Blake Miller, the 23rd overall pick, to the Eagles. He only did 2-round mock, so it was just 2. And basically, his feel on it is, Lane Johnson's aging, turning 36. It's a proactive move to secure the right tackle position and his successor. Miller is highly experienced with over 3,500 snaps at right tackle. So it gives you that right tackle of the future. It gives you that guy that could step right in after Lane. I'm not super high on Blake Miller. I get what he is. I understand that. I still think there's a number of guys I like better.
Why don't you like him? Out of curiosity.
I don't know. I know he's played right tackle. I know he would fit right in the right tackle position. But for me, I think it has to do with more of, like, if you draft a guy like Caden Proctor, you can potentially slide him into guard and play guard right away. Like, I understand them trying to get somebody for the future. But like the way that I look at it with the tackle position is like, I don't want to draft a guy that's going to sit a full year. Like, I want someone that can give you some type of, and especially when you're drafted at 23, if they trade back to 27, 28 and then pick Blake Miller, I'm fine.
Yeah. So
but I don't know. Like, I get it. I get what he is. I think he needs a little bit more refining. I think he's a good, solid player, but to me, I like to see someone of potential. Like Caden Proctor, I've been hit or miss with. But again, also I look at him and I say he's 20 years old and his size, like, I know Blake Miller's a big kid too and everything, but just like Proctor is just like so athletic. But again, he has his downfalls. And again, he's also only 20 years old, not even 21 yet. But I think he can play some guard, can play tackle positions. So there's a lot to like with that. I think Miller, like, he's not a terrible player, but I would put him probably in the offensive tackles in that range. I'm not talking about the guys that are going to go before him. I'm talking about in the Eagles range. Like, you have Blake Miller, you have Caden Proctor, you have Max from Arizona State. Like, the number of guys that are there, I would probably put him towards the end of the list of those guys. But
I get that.
I'm okay with it. If you trade back and then pick them, I'm fine with that. That's fine, because then you're getting some more assets along the lines of that. But I don't want to see them have like Sadiq on the board and all these other guys on the board and then take Blake Miller. It would just be and I think that's the biggest thing with me. It would be a very like, okay.
But that's just not what we do. And I know, like, you can say, oh, well, we never drafted a corner in the first round, and then we never drafted a linebacker in the first round. And that's certainly true. But I just don't know. And maybe they will. Maybe they'll draft Sadiq in the first round. Sadiq this year, A, I don't think he's going to make it to 23. And B, I feel like he's kind of like the Bijan of this Bijan Robinson of this year, where
he just goes so early. It's like there was no.
not only that, but like everybody in Philadelphia Eagles world wants him, even though we know that that's not a position that we traditionally value.
Yeah.
Right. Or at least we hadn't at that point. And obviously, Jalen Carter fell right in their laps. But let me just say this about Blake Miller, because I've been doing a lot of thinking about him because he's a popular mock to us. He is everything that Howie, in my opinion, would want in a Lane successor. 54 starts at Clemson, rarely injured. He is big. He's 6'6", 317, 32 reps on the bench, so he's strong. His explosive grade is elite. His speed grade is elite. He had a 9.97 RAS score.
Wow.
Right? Like, and so he doesn't seem like he'd be athletic, but I thought he had a really good combine. I really liked his position drills. He showed good lateral quickness. I feel like this is where Cooper's offensive line is going. Also, not to mention, he has 34-inch arms. Like he's got everything that I think the Eagles would want in an offensive tackle, and I actually wouldn't be surprised if he goes before 23. The more I think about it, despite like let's take our mock strategy out of it, because we've talked about offensive tackle always kind of throws off our strategy from a pick perspective, a BPA, and a need and a fit in Philadelphia. I think Blake Miller would be a perfect pick at 23 to replace Lane Johnson.
And again,
not to mention, how often does Lane have to go out? Prior to 2 years ago, you would say he's an Iron Man. He doesn't leave. But like the last 2 or 3 years, he's missed a significant amount of snaps.
Yeah.
And this team is significantly worse when he's not on the field. If you can get his successor in there to learn behind him, who already has the strength, already has the athleticism, already has the durability with 54 starts, he has the arm length, he has the RAS score that they look for from an analytical perspective. He makes a ton of sense, and you probably could slide him in at guard if you wanted. But I think he'd be a plug and play pick at 23. I know you probably didn't expect that, but I've been doing a lot of thinking about Blake.
I think too, the only other thing is we don't know in terms of this offensive line, and how they operate. We can't go off of what Stout was.
And that's why like a Max doesn't make as much sense to me, because he's more developmental. That's why Proctor doesn't make sense to me, because he's way too big. Yeah. And he doesn't have the requisite athleticism that they generally look for. How he generally looks for. Like I don't think the athletic testing and analytics are going anywhere. We may look for a different type of lateral movement as opposed to like a mauler in the run game. But Dickerson graded out really well. Cam Jurgens was elite in his RAS score. I don't think the athleticism, I think that is going to remain in play, because I think that's a Howie thing. And everything else, they're just like, does he fit our scheme? Can he be athletic enough to do the wide zone, right? And I think he's a perfect fit. The more I think about it, the more I like it. I just don't like the rest of the mock draft when I pick him.
Yeah. I think that's where it lies in the fact of who you pick and then what falls. And then with Kuiper's draft in round 2, he went Oscar Delp, the tight end from Georgia. And is it a little high? Potentially, but again, he seems to be one that is rising. Addresses the need for the long-term tight end option to pair or eventually succeed Goddard, continuing the trend of drafting Georgia defenders / players.
Yeah. I like Delp. Delp actually reminds me of Goddard. And we've talked about that.
Delp has grown on me, definitely.
I think he's a really good blocker, or at least a willing blocker. Like, you can work with that. But like, watch. I'll send it to you after this. But there's a clip of someone cut up of just his run blocking. He's awesome. He's awesome. Like he may not pancake his player, but he's in a great position. He makes a solid seal, puts his ass right in the hole, and lets the running back kind of bounce off his hip. And I think he's an underrated receiver. I don't think tight ends are generally utilized very much in Georgia outside of Bowers, but I think he'd be a great pick. At the number 2 pick, I don't know. We'll have to see what's available, but I really like Delp as a fit here, as well as Sam Roush out of Stanford. I think they'd both be terrific picks in that, like 1 through, or not 1, because they're not going to pick them in 1, but like the 2 to 4 range, I'd say.
Yeah,
I like that pick. I'd be okay with those 2 picks.
Okay, now we get to another mock. Dane Brogler, the Athletics mock draft. I'm just going to run down he did a 7-round mock, so I'll do every pick in that mock.
Yeah.
So round 1, Caden Proctor. Round 2, wide receiver Malachi Fields.
No.
Round 3, Max Clare, tight end at Ohio State. The second round 3 pick, safety Zakee Wheatley from Penn State.
Good pick.
Round 4, Logan Jones out of Iowa, the center, interior offensive lineman. Then Carson Beck in round 5.
Blech.
Or, round 4.
Yeah.
Round 5, Logan Fano, edge out of Utah. And round 6, Damani Jackson, corner out of Alabama.
That's good value. I like 3 of those picks.
Yeah, I probably would say
I don't like Proctor. I really don't. I don't like Proctor. Who was number 2?
Malachi Fields.
Too early for him.
Yeah, I didn't like the Fields pick.
I wouldn't. I mean, he had a really good Senior Bowl, and he was a lot faster than I thought he would be in those drills. I wouldn't hate it. I just feel like that's early for him. Like, if they got him in like the 3 or 4 range, I'd be okay with it. But at that pick, I'd rather have like a Ted Hurst, right? If he's available, or like a Stribling from Ole Miss. Who was that 3rd pick?
Max Clare.
Clare, solid pick. He's another guy I meant to mention with Delp and Roush. I like Clare.
Wheatley round 4.
Purdue was awesome.
Or you have the other round 3 pick was Wheatley.
Yeah, I like him. I think he'd be a great pick. He's a little less. He's a little more in that Makuba mold. Like he's bigger than Makuba, but that same kind of skill set. He's more of a coverage guy than a downhill thumper. But maybe that's what he's looking for, right? He's looking for a non-Blankenship.
Yeah. Logan Jones, I like that pick. I like Logan Jones from Iowa.
I think that's early for him.
For round 4, I think he's in the round 4 range.
For a career center when you have Kendall.
Yeah, again, that's what they're gonna like. Where do they view Kendall? That's the biggest thing.
Really,
again,
everything
we
I'm
don't
hearing
know.
is they really like him. Everything
That's
I'm hearing
a good thing.
is they really like him. And I don't, maybe that's the front office and not necessarily Cooper, but that remains to be seen. But I mean, he was one of the best centers in the draft last year. Like I don't know. I wouldn't be upset with him if they can move him to guard.
Yeah.
How big is he?
Logan Jones?
Yeah.
Because I know they have the other one, Bo Stevens, is their other guard.
Yeah, he's awesome. What a great name too. He's also 24, Logan.
So he, the center is probably his best thing because he's 6'2" and 7/8,
6'3" under 300. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't love that. There.
So basically they have it will eventually be average starter. That's what they state there. But again, Carson Beck, I didn't like that at all.
I hate that pick.
Logan Fano.
There are 5 other quarterbacks I'd rather have than Carson Beck.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Logan Fano. Okay.
Yeah.
Not
really.
Damani Jackson.
See, that's my thing is you need an impactful edge. And unless you're trading for one, which I've heard they are interested in doing, I think they need to go edge higher I think it's a much bigger need than most experts are alluding to.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think like in that 3rd to 4th round range. So if you don't get it in the 3rd round, the first pick of the 4th round, I think it needs to be an edge.
You could even argue 2nd round, honestly. Like if you said
you could, depending on who falls. Yeah.
Yeah. If you said they took DDS or let's say Mizador or whatever the hell his name is, let's say he falls a little bit because of his age and some of that's like cool. Take him in the 2nd round. Or like a Joshua Josephs or Malachi Lawrence or someone like that. If one of them starts to drop a little bit, I'd pounce, do it. But I don't. If you told me that they took DDS in the 2nd round, I'd be like, solid, do it. But I think they definitely need in their first 3 rounds. They definitely need to attack both trenches.
Just trying to see other.
Yeah, I hated Brugler's picks. I love Brugler. I think he's awesome. I appreciate the work he does, but I think he was probably so burnt out after putting out the beast that he was just like throwing it in. It just seemed like he didn't really think through those picks. Which I don't. It's got to be hard to do it for all 32 teams, but I don't like it.
Yeah. The other one was. I think I had another one I had in there. So there was another one here that showed us the experts' 1st round picks of what they selected. Some other experts. Right. Peter Schrager picked Denzel Boston.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I don't hate it. He's, 6'4", 200 pounds, speed guy, good, strong hands. He was even a kick returner or a punt returner. I wouldn't hate it, but I'd have to see who else is on the board at that point.
Yeah, I would agree with you with that. But again, that also brings me like I can't say one thing and then not bring this up. Like, depending on who it is that falls, like if it's Boston, I'm like, kind of rather just draft Hurst in either late 2nd or early 3rd.
1,000%.
Because like the way that I look at it, I said the same thing with Blake Miller. I don't want to draft a guy that's just going to sit on the bench as your wide receiver 4.
Yeah.
Like to me, like if a player like it's not going to happen. But if a player like Jordan Tyson falls to 18, 19, you trade up and you get him. Totally different story.
Or Mekhi Lemon.
Like if somebody falls and you go up and you get them, or they fall to you, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
But if it comes to a point of you drafting a guy who's just gonna like sit there, that most likely would be available at the end of the 1st round, or basically I'd want a guy that's like a Ted Hurst that I think is such great value that you can get in round 2 or potentially round 3. I would rather do that. So
I've heard, we've seen the report. I sent it to you as well. Like there are people that think that Hurst is probably a 3rd round receiver.
Yeah,
with the Eagles considering taking him in the 2nd round. So they like him. I think he'd be a great fit here. He's another. There is a lot of height and speed guys in this draft, which is pretty cool. Like Stribling is a big guy. Denzel Boston's a big guy. Carnell Tate is a little bigger. Hurst is pretty big. Malachi Fields is big. Chris Bell is basically a AJ clone from a size perspective.
The last one that I want to bring up to you that I had was, let me see if I can find it. Okay. Was Chad Reuter from NFL.com.
Oh boy.
And he did a 7th round mock.
Yeah.
I kind of really like this one.
Okay.
So round 1, again, Omar Cooper. He falls to you at 23. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I like him a lot better than Boston, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree.
Round 2, AJ Halsey, LSU safety.
Yep.
Round 3, edge Zion Young.
Oh, I like that pick.
Round 3.
I think he's a sleeper.
Yeah. Round 3, Ephesians Prysock, which I know you and I like.
I do like him.
He's like I think he would be like the Mac McWilliams of last year. How we were always talking about him. To me, it just seems like we've been talking a lot. Like maybe not on the show, but you and I have gone back and forth.
Yeah.
With him. Round 4, the guard DJ Campbell, I believe from Texas. I think he's from. The second round 4 pick defensive tackle Zane Durant, which if you don't get Caleb Proctor, you get Durant. I'm totally fine with that.
Those two are my top 2 fits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Then you have round 5, Cole Payton, quarterback, which I know they're pretty high on. So, and then round 6, tight end Tanner Koziel.
Love that. Yeah.
So I think that's a solid draft. That's probably one of the best ones that I've seen that I've liked.
It's a little late for a tight end, but I get it. I like the value there.
Yeah. Like to me, I think you could grab the tight end at the first round 4 spot.
Yep.
And then maybe get a guard / tackle in the 6th round, because like I understand like it was a different offensive line room coaching staff that drafted the 3 offensive linemen last year. But again, you did get an offensive tackle in Cameron Williams, who was a super developmental type of player. Now, again, this new staff you got to see. And you have Miles Hinton, and then you have Drew Kendall. Like, if they get one offensive lineman, okay. But,
they need 2 offensive linemen in this draft. They need a guard and a tackle, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I think if they can get a tackle that could play guard, and that's all they get, okay. But again, see, it like for me, like when the draft happens and everything, I love, like, it's almost like, you and I talking about watching the 3rd preseason game all the way through with guys who probably won't make the roster. I love seeing who goes or who they pick up on the undrafted free agent, because yes, they're undrafted free agents, but the Eagles always seem to do pretty well in having at least 1 to 2 guys that actually come out of it and, actually show promise. Reed Blankenship being one. They had Eli Ricks, Josh Drobe. Like, there's been guys who have Darius Cooper. Like, every year it seems to have, a guy or two that come out and
Super Bowl hero Corey Clement.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. That's arguably my favorite part. Like, UDFAs is like leftovers the day after Thanksgiving.
Friend of the show, Hollis Thomas.
He was an undrafted free agent
out of Northern Illinois, correct? Yep.
No way. Yep. That's pretty sweet. I mean, dude, TJ Edwards.
Yeah, Jamal Jackson.
Jamal Jackson. That's a good one. I know Fraley was drafted, right?
I don't think Fraley was drafted. I'm going to look that up. I don't know if he was maybe drafted by somebody else and then cut. But we're going to look right now and see. He was an undrafted free agent by the Steelers in 2000.
Love that. Okay.
And the Eagles picked him up after he was cut in 2000. And then he took over Bubba Miller.
Here's what I'm looking for the draft, and maybe I can tease this up for Wednesday. But I'm really interested to see how early they go wide receiver and how early they go edge. Again, and like, if there's a guy, if they really are BPA, and you have a guy like Thieneman, who has to be highly rated on their board, I guarantee Vic is head over heels for Thieneman.
Yeah.
Like, or Downs. If Downs starts to fall, like we did a mock draft before we jumped on, and Downs dropped to 15. That starts to happen. Maybe you move up and say he's too good.
I saw someone post about potential players who could fall. And one guy, like, if Keldrick Falk falls,
I
would definitely take him. Has the size, 6'6".
He reminds me of Stewart from the Bengals.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it for me.
No. I think he's got a lot of tools.
I don't want tools. I want someone who can do it like now and does it now. But
again, someone that does it now could be potentially a trade. You got a lot of whispers. You have a lot of players being dangled. Like you see it during the draft, second day of the draft, third day, you see players getting dealt. You have Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig. You have Jonathan Grenard. Like there's a number of names, and I think the Eagles are going to be involved in one of those because they need another edge.
All three of those guys would be terrific.
Yeah.
Highsmith makes a ton of sense. They all make a ton of sense from a schematic standpoint. Grenard is the one that's been the most commonly connected with us. And we've talked about that offline, that I've heard little birdies say that they're interested, but that there are contractual things that he made a lot of demands after he saw that Jalen Phillips contract, which is, I mean, rightfully so. But I think I would not be shocked if we make a trade for an edge. Probably day 2.
Yeah. I think they need to. Just with the health status of Nolan Smith,
unless
you
they
just
can get
don't know.
a DDS, right? Unless you can get someone like DDS or Malachi Lawrence or someone big falls. You never know. Like if Falk starts to fall, I wouldn't hate it. I just don't. I wouldn't trade up for him.
No, like I said, he falls down to 23, then I'm fine with that.
Oh, I'm definitely considering it for sure.
So it's going to be fun. We'll be back on Wednesday, but we do have to do a little immaculate grid.
Oh boy! Oh, we got Eagles this time.
Yes, it's the one from today.
All right.
So should we nail off the Eagles one, or how about this? First of all, Washington Rams. It's Sean Gilbert. I don't know why, just pops in my head.
Do it.
0.5. That's a good one.
That's a real good one.
That's a very good one. Oh, come on. Washington.
I can't see that. It's hidden.
You see now?
Oh, yeah.
Washington and the Lions. Gus Frerotte.
Ooh.
As long as he played for the Lions. Yeah, 10%. Ooh, 10%. Wow, a lot of people went that.
LA and Panthers, keep me honest here. I wanted to say, God, what was his name? Brandon Gibson. Did he play for the Panthers? I know he played for LA.
No, Shelton Gibson played practice or preseason for the Panthers. But I don't think Brandon Gibson played for the Panthers.
Okay.
Ooh,
keep that in your back pocket.
What about? Hold on. Isn't there a linebacker that played for the Panthers? And no, Lamar Latham was Oilers. We'll come back to that. The Eagles ones are the easiest ones, probably because we probably could hit those.
I mean, you got to go with He Hate Me for the Panthers. And
no. There's lesser ones.
Kurt Coleman.
Quentin Michael.
Ew. I hate the fact that he played for the
0.2.
Love that. Michael Lewis for the Niners and Eagles.
Yeah, I think he's going to be named a lot because he's.
You think?
I'm trying to think. I don't think that guy played long enough. Tim Harris played. Tia would be the most obvious, and Jeff Garcia. Yeah. They'd be the most obvious choices. Well,
did Tim Houck play for the Niners? I don't know why, but that
I don't think so.
Pops into my brain.
Well, this one, I'm going Akers. for you actually go Akers either one.
Yeah.
Go on the Commanders.
Oh,
0.3.
good. That's good.
I'm gonna go. Ooh, Guy McIntyre.
Gross.
Played with the Eagles in 95, 96. 0.2.
Dude.
Okay, that's good. Good start for us. I don't know. Oh, Rams, Panthers. I know the linebacker. Will
Who?
Witherspoon.
Oh, real
He
good
did play
one.
with the Eagles as well. 0.3.
Wow, that would have worked for 3 of the 14, or 3 of the 6 teams.
Yeah,
Right,
you're right,
LA,
actually.
LA and Niners.
The thing is, you have to try to think obscure. You can think of the easiest names
I
like
know,
Isaac Bruce, but you're going to get people that are going to say that. Garoppolo, another one, someone people would say right away. Trying to think like back in the day. You're trying to think of some guys who played. I'm going to think of the other teams. So Lions and Niners and Lions and Panthers.
I keep going back to running back here.
For which one?
For Rams, Niners.
Like an older running back?
Yeah.
William Floyd. Did he play for the Rams? I don't think he did.
No.
That may have been too far back. I know he played with the the Panthers and the Niners.
Rams, Niners.
Think any older quarterbacks? Think of those journeyman quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Should we try Isaac Bruce and see if maybe people think people would think Isaac Bruce?
Quite honestly, until you said it, I forgot he played for the Niners.
You know what? We'll go with Bruce. 12%. Okay, people were thinking that a little bit.
Lions.
Which is fine.
Lions,
Panthers. Lions, Niners. I got one. R.W. McQuarters.
Holy shit.
0.3. Okay.
Lions, Panthers.
Lions, Panthers. Scott Mitchell didn't play for the Panthers.
Did Dan Campbell play for the Panthers?
No, just Giants. Giants, Cowboys, Lions.
Yeah, I know he played for the Lions.
Kiri Colbert. Did he play for the Lions? I don't think so.
The running back?
No, receiver. Trying to think of the late 90s, early 2000s Panthers, if there's anybody that kind of crossed over and played with both teams.
Not Harrington, right?
No, Harrington didn't play for the Panthers. Jake Delhomme, he played with only the Saints and the Panthers. Trying to think. Dan Morgan didn't play for both those teams either. The Lions. Chris Winkie didn't play for the Lions.
Chris Winkie, what a name.
Yeah, just trying to think of some guys.
Panthers. Clowney didn't play for the Lions.
No.
Mills didn't play for the Lions.
Sam Mills, no, he played with the Saints. There's a Lamar Lathan. He didn't play with he played with the Oilers. Trying to think of some like defensive backs.
What about a tight end? Kurt Coleman didn't play for the Lions, right?
No.
Later in his career.
Trying to think of Chris Gamble didn't play. Ricky Manning Jr. Trying to think of someone like.
This is a tough one.
And there and like there's no one. Oh yeah, we'll just throw this guy
Right.
because it's really
Because no one gives a
trying to
shit about these teams.
nobody. Well, the thing is, back in the day, like the Panthers sometimes were really bad, and last thing you want to do is go from one bad team to definitely another bad team.
Yeah.
Trying to think of like offensive linemen. It's hard, like because you think recently there isn't any players for either team,
Yeah.
that you can think of right away. You got to think of like in the middle 2000s. I'm trying to think of some like
I keep
Lions
going to
players,
safeties, too.
safeties.
Yeah, for some reason.
Well, who's the one guy? Vildor. No, he played with the Bears and Lions, and he would
Yeah.
play with the Eagles one
Yeah.
game or something, or on the practice squad with the Eagles. Trying to think of what Eagles played with,
Maddox played for the Lions, but not for the Panthers.
not for the Panthers.
Jerome Harrison didn't play for
No,
the
he
Panthers.
played with the Browns.
What about Felix
Stocker
Jones?
McDougal. No, Stocker McDougal only played with. No, Felix or Kevin Jones.
No, Felix.
No, he played with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Jeff Garcia played with the Lions, but didn't play with the Panthers. Charlie Batch didn't play with the Panthers. Man, this is tough.
It is tough.
Trying to think of somebody that played. Thought this would be a little bit easier. Held the hardest one to the end. Interesting. Trying to think of kickers. What about Zane Gonzalez? I don't want to blow it, but
Yeah.
we don't have any other choice because we don't have any other options that we're thinking about. Herman Moore, no. Johnny Morton, no. Bernie Parmalee, no. Brett Perriman, no. I'm thinking guys who played a while ago.
Barry Sanders.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Think of older Panthers players. Reggie White. No, I'm thinking like early.
Ew.
He played with the Panthers.
I know. I forgot about that.
Yeah, one season.
That made me nauseous.
That would have been fun for him to come to Philly for his last hurrah. Wouldn't that have been fun?
That would have.
In what, 2000 he played?
Never should have left.
No.
Never should have left.
Well, we know that.
No. Did Ben Coates play for one of them?
No, I don't think so.
Patriots.
Yeah. Mike Caldwell played with the Panthers after he left, I believe. Nobody goes to the Lions to go and play for them.
Didn't Shockey play for the Panthers?
Yeah, probably at the very end of his career, but he didn't play with the Lions.
No. Keenan McCardle?
No. You know what? I may just have to just put Zane Gonzalez. I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking, screw it. Or just do it. I've been too long doing this anyway. Nope. We lost that one.
All right.
Damn.
So hold on. I'm gonna laugh if this is right.
Who'd you say? We can keep guessing.
Hold on. I'm gonna see if this. I don't think so.
Let me see Stocker.
He played for the Lions, but he didn't play for the Panthers. I was gonna go with Bert Emanuel.
Bert Emanuel.
Yeah. But he didn't play for the Panthers.
Let's see. They're going to show us 58. Let's see who they are for those two teams that we just couldn't get. I'm going to kick myself When I see one of them, I know I'm going to.
Go ahead.
Once it performs security verification, Jesus.
Charles Harris.
That is one. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Also an Eagle, by the way. For like a day. Did you see who else?
No. Because it's still saying just a moment.
All right. So Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, yeah.
Rodney Peete.
Oh, shit.
I can't believe we didn't think of that.
That's right.
Frank Reich.
Oh, he played with the Lions.
Yeah.
I knew he played with the. Well, with that, it's fun, but we maybe we'll do better next time.
DJ Chark would have been a good one.
Yeah, we just didn't think. It's one of those combinations that are tough. But
people are probably like, "Why are they doing this on a podcast?"
It's fun. So
we have
with that, as we always end it, we end it with a very happy and joyful draft week version of
Go Birds.
Hey guys, it's J-Bo. Some people call me J-Bo Philly. I'm here with Big Dom. And check out All About the Birds. Go Birds.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Ian. Make sure you're following All About the Birds. I absolutely love their content.
Just wanted to give the guys over at All About the Birds a huge shout out.
Hey, for all the Eagle content you need, go follow All About the Birds. They do a damn thing. Check them out.
Hey Eagles fans, I may be in Tampa, but I know where to find the best Eagles content out there. Check out my friends at All About the Birds.
Philadelphia, what's up? This your boy Freddie Mitchell, a.k.a. Fred X. It's all about the birds.
All birds all the time.
All birds, all the